Hello, everybody. Welcome to the big show. My name is Mickey, and this is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for middle Americans where all middle Americans are welcome. I would just like to say that this is the show where if you feel like you have been raised up in America in any form or fashion, the term middle means you because we're all middle Americans in one way or another. You want to know why? Because all of us live in the country. That makes us all average Americans. It doesn't really matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter whether you're rich, whether you're not so rich. Doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat or left or right. It just matters that you care about the country in which you live, and that you care about the people that live here, and then secondarily, you care about the rest of the world and the rest of the planet, because that's what we've been doing for a really long time in the United States of America. We've been taking care of ourselves. We've been taking care of the planet because we are the best country in the world. I'm not ashamed of that. There's nothing wrong with being the best country in the world. Somebody's got to do it, and it's us. And the reason is because we've got a certain set of values here in the United States of America, and that just means that we're better than everybody else. Sorry, everybody else, but if you're not willing to admit that you have something that nobody else has, then you're just blind or you're a damn loser. So, hey, congratulations to Darla, Joe, Stewart, Bennett, coming in with a gold medal. Hey. Darla Joe, Stuart Bennett, congratulations on the gold medal tonight. And congratulations to silver medal Susie. I don't know whether she's doing it on purpose by sliding into the silver medal every single night, but she does that better than anybody else. And then Carolyn Greg's Ledger coming in with the top three. So there you go. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Darla Stordo, how you doing? I'm so glad that you are here also. Thank you very much. Just finished off the podium, so maybe next time you'll be in the top three. But thanks, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. Tonight, we're going to, let me tell you about my day. So I woke up this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I called up my daughter, and I sang her happy birthday because she was born on this day 24 years ago. So happy birthday to the small one, a.k.a. Cool Breeze, a.k.a. Minnow, a.k.a. Sydney. I just want to say happy birthday, baby. I really love you. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, it was raining cats and dogs. I called her up, and I was like, whoa, it is raining outside. So I went back to bed. I woke up a little while later, and it was still raining cats and dogs. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I better make the trip. So I got all my stuff together. I jumped in my van, and I drove 4 hours to see my daughter to wish her happy birthday on her birthday. And I gave her present, and then we put the presents together. And then her boyfriend was there, so I gave him a high five, and we talked a little bit. Then I packed up my stuff back in my van, and I drove another 4 hours back here. I got back here about 35 minutes ago, and I was just going to say that it was a really great trip, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate nobody stopping me as I was speeding through Arkansas and Oklahoma. So thank you very much to the state troopers that didn't stop me when they had the opportunity to. So let's talk about the important stuff that's going on in the world. You guys need to see this. This is absolutely terrible. This is horrible, terrible news. And this is a real thing because it was Justin Bieber himself. So Justin Bieber battling a very rare virus causing facial paralysis. This is scariest. This is pretty scary, as you can see. So this is Justin Bieber. That's the Bieb right there. He is a modern day rock star. He does everything. And he put out this video message. And if you'll see to the screen left, this side of his face is paralyzed. He can't blink his eye very well. And what happened was the Bieb is having problems because he had chickenpox. And he got what is it called? Oh man, it flipped me onto Instagram. Doggone it. I don't want to be on Instagram. It's he's got stroke-like symptoms. They discovered a small blood clot. Wait a minute. Wrong. That was a wrong story. According to Mayo Clinic, Ramsay Hunt syndrome occurs in people who've had chickenpox. Ramsay Hunt syndrome is a shingles outbreak that affects a facial nerve near one of the person's ears and more. It's more common in older adults, usually affecting people over 60, but the Bieber has it. And here's the deal is, man, I've liked Justin Bieber for a really long time. I'm not a Bieber fan as big as some people are, but let's pray for that young person. That because here's the deal is, anytime that anybody's going through something, I'm always trying to pray for them. I'm always trying to do the right thing. So Carolyn Greg's Ledger says, I'm sharing the gold. That is so funny. I'm so that thank you very much for sharing that. Let somebody else squeeze in there. That's awesome. Yeah. And then Susie says, happy birthday to Sydney. And so does Darla Joe, Stuart Bennett. And Bell's palsy. No, it's not Bell's palsy. It is. Oh, I just had it here just a second ago. Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Yeah, so how about that? All right, so what's the second story of the day? For those of you who missed this right here is Sage Steele. And last month, while at the United States Open golf tournament, she got hit in the head with a golf ball, hit by Jon Rahm, and she just now got back. And that is a very, very serious deal. I don't know whether you know this, but if you get hit by a golf ball going 100 miles an hour, I mean, it could literally kill you. But somebody stayed with her. They got her to the hospital. They got her treated. And so she's going to be okay. So that's good news. So the prayers for Sage Steele also worked. And then for all those of you that follow the PGA Tour, the PGA Tour dropped the hammer on by suspending current and future LIV players. And I'm going to talk about the LIV Golf Tour here just a second, and about the implications on Middle Americans and the way that it is. And it says, just minutes after the inaugural round of the LIV Golf Tour teed off, the PGA Tour fired a shot of its own, suspending any players who competed in the LIV Tour and now and in the future. Players are affected by the bans as it stands, with more potentially to come in the future. Why is this important to Middle Americans? Well, Middle Americans join alliances and they start their own business and they become their own contractors and they become this. So what happened was the PGA Tour has events all over the United States, and they combine up with the R&A in England, and the Royal and Ancient is what the R&A stands for. It's the Royal and Ancient, and that's the governing body of golf in Europe. So anyway, Saudi Arabia decided to team up with a guy named Greg Norman from Australia, and put on a golf tour of their own. So that would make that there's five golf tours in the world, right? So you have the PGA, the Royal and Ancient, the European, let me start over. PGA, the European, the Japanese, and then they have a couple of smaller tours. And then I think they have one in Australia. And then Saudi Arabia wanted to have a golf tour. So they teamed up with Greg Norman, who's a very famous golfer from back in the day, and who's also a very, very successful businessman. And they said, hey, we're going to have these golf tournaments over here. If you would like to join, if you are a human being and you qualify, we will pay you to come over and play golf for Saudi Arabia or during this tour, which is sponsored by Saudi Arabia and Greg Norman. It's called the LIV Tour, LIV. Here's why this is important. A lot of players had contracts with the PGA. And the PGA said that if you go play for that other company, we're going to suspend you from playing here. Now, if you want to play on the PGA Tour, it comes at you got to play an X amount of tours. You have to qualify for the tour. They give you a card. It's called the tour card. And then every year, if you make more money than everybody else, you get to stay on the tour. And then they have, in order to get into the tour, You go play golf in your local regions that is controlled by the PGA, and you go through a series of tournaments to qualify for the remaining spots on the PGA Tour. So the PGA Tour consists of people who had made a lot of money last year, and then people who qualify to fill in the remaining ranks of the PGA Tour. And all of these people are independent contractors that qualify to play for the PGA. But they can say, "Hey, look here, I want to go opt out of a couple of tournaments, or I want to only play half this season, but I would like to go play in Africa, or I would like to play in Asia, or I would like to play in Europe in some of these." So tour players and tour golfers go and move between tours. Now there's four major tournaments in golf every single year. They're the PGA Tour, the Masters, the PGA, so it's the Players Tour, Masters, and the last one is the British Open. So it's the British Open, which is the most important tournament in the world, then the United States Open, and then the PGA Tour, and then the Players. And here's the thing about this. Players are supposed to be able to go back and forth, but the PGA started a thing and they said, "Hey, look here, we don't agree with the politics of Saudi Arabia. So if you go and play for Saudi Arabia, you're not allowed to come and play we're going to suspend your playing rights and your playing privileges." Why did they do this? Because the Live Tour offered more money to the players. And a lot of very notable names decided to go to the Live Tour. Now, I'm not going to go and tell you who all the players are that decided to go play in the Live Tour, but it is backed by Saudi Arabia. They're playing some golf in Saudi Arabia. They're playing some golf in Europe. They're playing some golf in Australia. It's a worldwide tour event, and they're paying the players more than the players would make on the PGA tournament or playing in the PGA. Why is this important to you? Because this is how companies try to control you, and they threaten to fire people. They threaten, and golfers are not in a union. Golfers are basically, they have the Professional Golfers Association or the Players Association. But the thing is that is a union, that is a loose union. Who's going to defend these players against the PGA? Now, I know that they're all millionaires. I know that they're all millionaires. But the fact of the matter is that as a corporation, the PGA is trying to control their players. Is your boss trying to control you? Is your boss threatening to take away your pay or not give you a good reference? And, because that's the way that it works in the United States of America. You're supposed to be able to move up the ladder of success. And that's what a lot of our young people are doing is they're getting an entry level job, and a couple of years later, they're going to another company, going to another company, going to another company. But the second disingenuous thing is that the PGA Tour has started this campaign against the Live Tour, and they're saying, "Hey, look here, they killed Khashoggi," or whatever that reporter's name was. And the simple fact of the matter is that Saudi Arabia has been treating women bad, and Saudi Arabia treats gay people bad. Here's the thing is, they do that, but we still have international relations with Saudi Arabia. European players still are endorsed by companies from Saudi Arabia. Being an independent business person, you've got to make the decision on your own about where you're going to go and how you're going to make money and how you're going to feed your family. And if you have the opportunity to go do that, let's say, for example, me, if I work for 4 or 5 companies as an independent contractor, and all of a sudden I start dealing with another company that is a direct competitor of one of the people that I work for, does that company have the right to suspend me and fire me? I think the answer to that is yes. But I do believe that everybody has to take a step back and then say, why are they doing this to the players? So anyway, I don't really have a solution to this, but I wanted to let everybody know that this applies to everybody in middle America, because middle Americans have to realize that the loyalty of the company that you're working for is only going to be as loyal as the company is loyal to themselves and to you. If the company goes broke or they have bad people running it and they got to fire you, they're going to fire you. Don't be overly loyal to companies just because you are not going to be on their highest priority. And if you do work for a company, make sure that they're going to be loyal to you, because companies are going to act in their best interest. And that's why I encourage everybody to become a private contractor, start your own business, and do the thing you can, because you can do that here right now in the United States of America, hardly with anybody else's opinion. So Steve Hayes, how you doing down there in Florida there, Steve Hayes? By the way, I'm thinking about changing my identity. I was thinking about identifying as Steve Hayes down in Florida, being cool, being a golfer, being a scuba diver, being Combat Steve Hayes. Now, I know I'm not as good looking as you, but I'm going to identify as good looking. I'm not as tall as you, so I'm going to identify as being taller. I'm going to identify as living in Florida, and I'm not going to pay taxes in Arkansas because I'm going to identify as a Florida State resident. Live golf is only a money grab, plain and simple. Yeah, but Steve, here's what the thing is. It might be a money grab, right? But what about the European tour? So if some of these players went over there and they won every single tournament in Europe, that would be a money grab, and you can go play in Asia, you can go play in Europe, you can go play in Australia, you can play in tournaments all over the world. You don't have to necessarily stick in the PGA. And I think that the Live Tour just wants to be another tour. I'm just saying, right? I think that Greg Norman thought this idea up. I think that Greg Norman went, I'm really sick and tired of the PGA, so I'm going to go find some money so I can start my own golf tour. So Greg Norman went to Saudi. He went to looked around at a lot of different places, looked at a lot of different sponsors. He's a multi-gazillionaire. I don't know how much money Greg Norman has, but Greg Norman has a shitload of money. What is the net worth of Greg Norman?
Here's an answer from funbuzz.com. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Norman boasts an estimated net worth of $400 million.
$400 million is what Greg Norman is worth. So I think that he went looking for backers and he found it in Saudi Arabia, and now everybody's just complaining. And it might be a money grab, but here's what the deal is. I really think that the PGA Tour has not treated their players as fairly as they can. Now, here's my problem with the Live Tour. They're giving more money to players, but less money to charity. One of the reasons I'm a supporter of the PGA is they give millions and millions of dollars to local charities and national charities every single year by bringing golf tournaments and big sponsors into different events. And they support all kinds of causes and all kinds of charities. And they do a lot of great work with the money that they give to localities, bringing in businesses for the cities that they play in, and the money that they give to charity. I want the Live Tour to give that much money to charity as well. That way I can support anybody that wants to give a portion of their proceeds to charity. All right. What else is going on in the world? But they have permission from European Tour, not permission from the PGA. Yes. Yeah, that's another thing. The Europeans have permission to play, right? The PGA is the one that got all bent out of shape. So screw it. Okay, so next thing up. I would like to announce that America works. I would like to tell everybody in the United States of America that the United States of America works. How do I know that? Because this past Tuesday, San Francisco voted by a 60 to 40% margin to get rid of their radical progressive DA. What's his name? Chesa Boudin. Boudin. The people of San Francisco recalled him 60 to 40, and they voted him out. So that means that dude is losing his job. He's going to be gone. He's the dude that stopped prosecuting petty theft. And he said, hey, man, you guys can steal up to $1,000 from any store that you want to, and we will not prosecute you. And if we do, it's going to be on the lowest charge that we can possibly do. And we may or may not even make you pay the money back. And he was clearing all the people out of the jail, and he wasn't charging people with crimes when it was aggravated. Like somebody could hold a gun on you and take all your money and rob you. And he would go, oh, well, they didn't use the gun, so we're not going to add that as a factor in the crime. Can you believe that? So anyway, that's why America works, is because they had a recall system in San Francisco, and they are recalling that dude. Now, not every place in the United States has a recall system, but every place in the United States has an election system to get people in and out. And that's why when I say Operation535.com, well, I know I haven't been doing a good job on that. I haven't been pushing it. I've been busy. I'm sorry. I'm starting a business. When I say that, voting counts and voting matters. So this guy right here, he is such a bad guy that the people in California and in San Francisco decided to recall him, so he's no longer going to be the district attorney for San Francisco. But here's what I don't understand. I don't understand how this guy got voted into office anyway. What I'm about to demonstrate is why people are dumbasses and stupid, because they don't understand that bad people can get elected to office if they have enough money, and you have to do your research. Let me tell you a little bit about this Chelsea Boudin guy. He was born in New York City to parents Kathy Boudin and David Gilbert. They were members of the Weather Underground. You remember them, a terrorist organization? When Boudin was 14 months old, both were arrested and convicted for murder for their role as getaway car drivers in the 1981 Brinks robbery in Rockland County, New York. His mother was sentenced to 20 years to life, and his dad 75 years to life for felony murders. 2 police officers died and a security guard. After his parents were incarcerated, Boudin was raised in Hyde Park, Chicago by adoptive parents Bill Ayers, known terrorist, and Bernadine Dorn, who, like his parents, had been members of the Weather Underground. Boudin reports that he did not learn or read it. Here's the thing. Boudin descends from a long line of left-wing crazies. His great-granduncle Louis B. Boudin was a Marxist theoretician and author of 2-volume history of the Supreme Court's influence on America's government, and his grandfather, Leonard Boudin, was an attorney who represented controversial clients as Fidel Castro, Paul Robeson. It's just crazy. How in the hell do people vote for a son of a bitch like that? By the way, these are all my opinions, and that was from Wikipedia. Here's the crazy thing about it. People got to pay attention or this shit happens. You let some stupid, crazy person like that become a district attorney in your city, and when your city goes to hell in a handbasket, you go, what happened? Well, you're an idiot. You let it happen. You voted for the person. So anyway, cooler heads and smarter people prevailed, and it just goes to show that the United States voting system does work when people are informed about the people that they're voting for. I'm just saying. So that's proof that the voting system works. All right. So what was else? Okay. Tonight's the topic of tonight's show after 25 minutes is the economy. I would like to tell you, oh no, this is what I wrote the other day. Oh no, it's an emergency. Joseph Biden, President of the United States, has invoked the Emergency Defense Production Act to make solar panels. Emergency, 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 solar panels in defense production, solar panels. St. Pierre, his press secretary, says Biden wants to create a solar panel arsenal. My question is how in the world is Biden invoking the Defense Production Act for solar panels? That's absolutely insanity. Defense against who? It's supposed to be in war. The second thing about that is that solar panels. Do you know where he's going to get the solar panels? Not only is he going to try to build a couple here in the United States of America, they're going to buy them from China. That's right. Joe Biden says we need an arsenal of solar panels, and he's going to buy them from China. How are we supposed to build up our arsenal of solar panels when China is drilling for oil, making hydroelectric dams, building coal-fire electrical electricity plants? They are burning up the CO2 world. It is absolutely crazy. And now we're going to give them not only money to do the manufacturing of these solar panels, that means that we're going to give them more money to pollute the earth than is going to be worth the solar panels, because now they're going to go and fire up new manufacturing processes. It's the most insane thing I've ever heard. Now, when I was talking about the economy, Joe Biden knows what he's doing, but I don't know whether everybody else knows what he's doing. He can go to China and not come back. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Carolyn. Anything to distract from his efforts to end the Second Amendment, he's catering to the far left. That is true. But here's what the thing is, and this is what people do not realize. I figured this out a while back. I didn't say anything, but I really, 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 really believe what I'm about to tell you. Joe Biden is a narcissist. Joe Biden has been Joe Cool ever since he came into politics when he's like 22, 23, 25 years old, whenever the heck he did. He's never worked a day in his life. He was a son of whoever, went to college and got right into politics in the state. And then he became the congressman from wherever the heck, Delaware. And then he became senator from Delaware. And once you become the senator from Delaware, you have the ability to take stuff like this. This is all of the stuff that I got in my mail. This is Rick Crawford. That right there is Bozeman. This right here is Bozeman and Trump. This right here is John and Trump endorsed Bozeman. There's Rick Crawford. See, when you run against these people that are up there in Congress, you don't even stand a chance. So that when Joe Biden was running, he had all this backing. You could put shit in people's mailbox every single day. We all get it. Where in the world do the politicians get enough money to put crap in our mailbox every single day? And then they get all the press time. So whoever's going to run against them is going to get smoked anyway. That's why we need to be smarter about who we vote for and why we vote. Second thing, Joe Biden has been in politics so long, he's a perennial loser. But the simple fact of the matter is this time he's smart enough to realize that he needs a legacy. Joe Biden is so narcissistic that somebody went in during COVID and said, hey, man, we're going to make you famous. Here's how we're going to make you famous. You are going to become the face of the Green New Deal. You're going to get rid of petroleum. You're going to push America towards solar. And when you do, you will become known as the president that saved the planet. That's why his narcissistic mind went, I can be famous. I can be, oh my gosh, it might not happen right now. Everybody might hate me now, but I'll be famous in the future because I will be the one that saves the planet. And that's why on day one, he said, hey, look here, man, we're going to get rid of the Keystone Pipeline. We're going to get rid of all carbon emissions. We're going to shut down all oil drilling offshore. We're going to shut down all of the onshore oil exploration. We're going to get rid of all of this. And it doesn't matter what it costs the American people now, because I'm going to be famous later. And I only have 4 years to do this. So I'm going to pull out all of the stops. I'm going to invoke the Defense Production Act so that we, even if we give the biggest enemy that we have in the world all the money that they can possibly stand, I'm going to do the solar panel thing. Here's the thing. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he doesn't care. And the Democrat Party and the progressives and the left side and all that side of the political spectrum are willing to take it on the chin in order to make it happen because they've been infiltrated by crazy people. And they're going to make it happen, and they're going to make us suffer. And it doesn't matter whether we have rolling blackouts like Germany. You know, if you take Germany and you take France and you compare their two environments that they have, Germany went with solar and wind, and they are paying like 10 times more for electricity now than they did. And although their carbon dropped, now their carbon output is starting to go back up because they have to have the infrastructure to still provide electricity to their country when the wind and the solar don't work like it didn't work last year in Texas. But France said, hey, we're going to go nuclear, man. We know how to build nuclear things, so we're going to build nuclear stuff all over the place. So as France continually decreases their CO2 output, Germany is starting to go back up, and we're taking on the model of the Germans rather than taking on the model of the French. Because Joe Biden wants to be famous. He wants to be the Green New Deal president of the United States. So how much you're paying? The average price of gas in the United States of America just hit $5 per gallon. I just paid $4.40. That's insane. All I'm saying is, if you stretch that timeline out, instead of doing it all in 4 years like Joe Biden wants, if you do an off-ramp to the future, then we could save a lot of money, but we're not going to do that because Joe Biden is tanking our economy so that Joe Biden can be famous in 100 years. So that's my opinion. So let's go to the comments real quick before we shut her down for the night. He can go to China Nut. Debbie Caldwell says, let's see what Debbie says. I'm in Washington State, and our pathetic governor has us in a continual state of emergency. He will never give it up because he's drunk on a power trip. That's what happens. Oh, my God. Congress wants all the power. Congress is undermining the executive branch and the judicial branch. They want to tank the justices in the Supreme Court. They want to expand the court. They want to give statehood to Puerto Rico, Washington, D.C. They really want to tank the country. They want to get rid of the justice system in the United States of America. That way they don't have anybody to compete with. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to try it. But they also want to get rid of the executive branch. They want to have all of the power inside of Congress, as is being demonstrated right now, because literally right now on TV, it's the third impeachment of Donald Trump. They've already impeached him twice. And when they impeached him twice, it's conclusively proven that he didn't do what they said he did in the first and second impeachments. And now they're impeaching him again on TV. So they want to destroy the presidency of the United States. They want to destroy the judicial branch. And the people are just like Debbie says, there are certain people in our world that are narcissistic and just won't give up control if they ever get it. And then replying to Carolyn Gresler, I wish. All right. And then Darla Joe said, saved the planet and ended the U.S. They do not care if they destroy the United States, if they save the planet. And here's the thing. I started off the show by saying we have the greatest country in the world, and we could solve a lot of the world's problems if everybody would get the hell out of the American people's way. Let them innovate our way to the future and let middle Americans do their thing, unbound by all of these stupid ass rules, regulations, and everything like that. So right now it's 9:36. I gotta go. So anyway, there you go. That's the information on Joe Biden. It's the weekend, so I will see you again on Monday. Remember to like, share, hit the notification bell. Remember that I love you. Thank you very much for your comments. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here with me. Remember, Mickey in the Middle, 9 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, right here wherever I am, right there wherever you are. And without further ado, happy birthday, small one. I love you. Good night.